Why are you guys staring at this caution sign? Let's get into today's video. Hey, what's going on, people of the internet? My name is Creation, and today I wanted to talk about the broken pieces of Battlefield 4. Now, when I say broken pieces, I mostly mean what has fell off from the Battlefield franchise that not only I have noticed, but others in the community have too. So I have actually taken some thoughts and some suggestions from other people from the far galaxies of the internet to discuss them with you guys. So where do we start? Well, it's always good to start at the basics, and that brings up the rock paper scissors mechanic, something that a lot of people favored. Basically, the rock paper scissors mechanic is how Battlefield has been balanced for years. For example, heli beats tank, tank beats mobile AA, and mobile AA shreds helicopter. It's a simple game of rock paper scissors, and it has worked for years. But with Battlefield 4, DICE is kinda edging towards do whatever you want, play how you want. We're not holding your hand, we're not telling you how to play the game. You should be able to experience the game how you choose. Now, of course, from their end, that probably looks amazing. Players get to choose how they want to play. There's no edging from the developers to tell you how to do things. You go out and experience the battlefield. But what DICE seems to just avoid is that there are trolls on the internet, and that they need to pay more attention on how things may be used by the community. I'm not saying that it's all DICE's fault. Some people are just jerks, and that they like to export the game, try to find something different to give them an advantage. But DICE has to pay way more close attention on how they balance stuff, and also how new weapons, gadgets, and other stuff affects the gameplay. Mostly, I'm talking about how many launchers we have in Battlefield 4. Are they really necessary? Or is it just bloat to say that, hey, we have at least 10 different kind of rocket launchers? Yeah, they all have minor differences, and it's good that you're trying to add some versatility to the game. But have you went back and checked to see how this affects other mechanics of the game? I'm gonna leave that there and let it sink in, as we transfer over to a very sketchy topic, and that is the patches. What has been going on with these Battlefield patches so far? At first I was like, okay, sometimes we get things wrong. Battlefield is a very complex game. They'll fix it eventually in the next patch. And then we see another thing broken in the next patch. And they're usually something minor, but something that a QA tester will automatically have picked up if they had tested it. And my number one thing that really led me to this conclusion is the kill cams. There is no way you miss a kill cam. That is how I know there is no longer testing of patches. They fix stuff, they break another. And I wouldn't be so mad at it that something is breaking another. But when it's totally obvious that even if I was hired and I have no experience in Q&A, wouldn't get passed and released to the public. Instead, I would have said, hey, the kill cams are broken. It's pretty obvious. Let's hold on to the patch and make sure everything is working. Now, of course, with Battlefield 3, we didn't get patches as often. Battlefield 4 patches have been coming out constantly. But is it really worth it if they don't really help? I would rather have a notice from DICE saying give us 6 months, we'll release a patch, we'll make sure that everything is working, than to get a patch every month and have the game still not working after 6 months. I may be angry, I may be furious that the game is broken for 6 months. But when that patch does come, I will be genuinely happy, and I will eventually just forget that the game launched this way. And that all comes with fan engagement. If DICE had kind of just came out at the beginning of Battlefield 4 and said that stuff not working right now, we're sorry, we will be taking your suggestions and community feedback to perfect the game. I think most of us are looking for a simple apology, and there's no telling that if we're going to get that. But the way Battlefield 4 has launched has affected the way I think of other EA games, especially the ones made by DICE. Mostly I'm worried about Battlefront 3. That's a game that I really enjoyed. and I would hate for a sequel to pretty much kill the franchise. Now, there's always a possibility that DICE have run its end with the Battlefield series, and it's just not as good as it used to be. It has reached its peak and it's not really going to get any better. And usually when that happens, it's time to abandon the series to assure that we went out with a bang. We went out with a great game. And it's not all bad when you do it that way. I expect DICE to just let this thing roll over, release all the content in this year, and then release Battlefront 3, and about time 3 years pass from the launch of the game, we won't remember how the last Battlefield has launched. But of course, I will always love to know you guys' thoughts. This wasn't meant to be a rant. It was supposed to be constructive criticism for any DICE employees. I don't want this getting out of hand, and I don't want to flame DICE for anything, but there's some issues. But that wraps it up for today. Stay creative, guys.